As introverts, a lot of us grow up facing judgments, assumptions, and even bullying. Although I know it can leave some deep insecurities, we can heal, and it's time to start. Hey, lovelies. Welcome to the Introvert Lens, a peek inside the introverts with your host, Kay Janelle. I created this podcast to talk about what life really feels like living misunderstood in a world that often condemns silence, and basically all things introversion, the beauty, the struggles, and everything in between. So, here lately, I have really been on a growth journey. I'm 27, and honestly, I'm at a weird kind of point in my life. There have been a lot of big changes, and my biggest priority has been growing as a person and just really building not only the life I dream of, but building myself into the person that I dream of, the person that I want to be, the person I know I can be. That comes with a lot of healing for me. I am realizing that a lot of things I need to heal from, the anxieties, the insecurities, the fears, a lot of them stem from being an introvert. Now, I'm not referring to actually being an introvert. I love being an introvert. I have grown to absolutely love who I am. I have grown to really love introversion and everything it means to me. But more so, I mean, healing from how the world has treated me for being an introvert. It's a lot. Like unpacking it, pulling it all out of the bag has been a tremendous it's been a tremendous task to tackle because as introverts, we go through a lot from a young age just for being who we are. So today, I really want to talk about how society treats us introverts, why, and some ways that we as introverts can heal from it all. Now, for a lot of us, it starts pretty early on. I think the biggest time it starts is in school. Once you get to school, it just kind of starts rolling. The judgments, the assumptions, not even just other kids, but the teachers. So it's like the kids will kind of, sometimes maybe they're like super standoffish because they just don't get you. And that's kind of the best case scenario. Because on the other end, you have the kids that are mean to you, or they decide to pick with you because you don't say anything, or they feel like you're not going to stand up for yourself. And then on the other end of it, you have the teachers that are also judging, they're making assumptions, they're saying these backhanded things, like acting like they're trying to help you or they're giving advice. But it's really something along the lines of, oh, you need to open up more and get some personality, or you're never going to make it anywhere in life, says a grown adult teacher to a child. But gee, okay, thanks. I'll probably take that advice. You guys are teachers. You're supposed to be here to uplift and support and teach, not to judge me, not to tell me there's something wrong with me because you don't get me. From then on, it felt like it was just throughout the years, we have to go from kindergarten to 12th grade. So as you went through school, it just got worse and worse. And for me, as I got older, it changed. It was less of like bullying, and as I got older, it was more of, oh, we're gonna see if we can manipulate her, or oh, we're gonna befriend her to try to change her, or the people that maybe wanted to befriend you because they felt like you'd be someone easy to kind of drag behind them. They could get you to go along with everything they said, everything they did. Basically, like you weren't your own person. And it almost gets to a point where I think in teenage years, for some, it gets to a point where like you start even changing yourself because for so long you've heard, oh, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't be that, you should do this more, you need to get a personality, you need to stop being so quiet. So you just start turning into this person or that person depending on who you're with, just trying to fit in, just trying to get some sense of belonging because your whole life, especially in this environment, you've been told you don't belong or you need to change who you are to belong. I think school for introverts is an experience, to say the least, for absolute sure. As life progresses, it goes on, the biggest place it continues is the workplace. I believe some fields are, of course, worse than others because there's different settings. Some settings that you have to actually be constantly around these people. The worst, I think I'll say, in my opinion, is definitely your office settings or your corporate settings. Oh, The judgment, the assumptions, the people saying, oh, she's stuck up, or oh, she's mean, when they've had no interaction with you. You all have never spoken, no conversation, but because you're quiet, you're mean. Or even my favorite, they're intimidated by you. That one has been a very hard one for me to wrap my head around. How me not speaking to you is intimidating to you, or you feel like it creates a hostile environment. Still trying to kind of understand. I'm gonna have to come back to that one because I honestly still don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But they will definitely push their judgments on you, or instead of getting to know you, or because they feel like you're hard to figure out, they'll push their assumptions on you. They'll assume that you don't like them, or they'll assume that you're boring, or you have no life, or they'll assume that you're stuck up or that you're mean without ever even attempting to get to know you. And it's one thing to not want to get to know somebody, and it's another to want to know them, but you don't truly want to know them, or you wouldn't make assumptions. You almost want to know them just because you feel like you can't figure them out. Am I making sense? Introverts, I know y'all get what I'm saying. It's like this very weird thing where I don't think it's a person that really likes me. It's not, everybody doesn't like me. It's almost more of, oh, she's a mystery and she doesn't want to tell her business, so I just really, really, really want to know it. And when she won't tell me, oh, that intimidates me, or oh, I feel like that's hostile because I don't tell you everything you want to know. And you can't figure it out because I'm more reserved, or I'm more quiet, or I keep to myself. That to me is a you problem, but they will definitely try to make it an us problem, which baffles me. It baffles me tremendously because introverts really do grind their gears. They grind a lot of people's gears for one reason or another. It's almost, I'm not even going to say it's like, it is. Society has made quiet into a bad thing. Society has given quiet and introverted a negative view, a negative connotation. And I hate that for us so much because there is nothing negative about quiet. There's nothing negative about being able to sit in your silence. There's nothing negative about being comfortable enough that you can sit with yourself without having to constantly fill every little quiet moment, every little piece of silence with something. People that have to do that aren't comfortable enough to sit with themselves. And you don't find that in introverts. Introverts are very comfortable with themselves, even when it comes to their demons. Personally, I face my demons every day because I enjoy sitting with myself. I enjoy my silence, and I refuse to give that up because I want to ignore who I am, or I want to ignore kind of the harder parts of life, or I can't handle those. I enjoy being able to sit in that silence, and it's something I should be allowed to do. But then here comes a society with their assumptions. Sometimes it's not even what people would call a complaint or speaking negatively. Sometimes it's even like the things that are like, I still think it's very negative, but sometimes it's the, oh, quiet, they're quiet, so they're shy. Just because I'm quiet does not make me shy. Or they're quiet, there must be something wrong. Let me ask what's wrong. Nothing. Nothing's wrong. And when you keep pushing that on, especially a child, every time they're quiet or every time they're kind of in their own little zone where they like to be, here comes somebody saying, oh, why are you so quiet? Oh, you have got to speak up. You have to. Stop assuming that someone being quiet or someone being introverted means that there is something wrong. It doesn't have to mean they're shy. It doesn't have to mean that something negative has happened to them. Some people are more subdued. You have extroverts and you have introverts. Who wants to live in a world full of extroverts? I personally feel like you need a healthy dose of both. I wish the world more understood that. Having both introverts and extroverts creates a balance. So many times society pushes and wants for everybody to be an extrovert, unless it's the glamorous side of introverts. But when you get to the core of introversion, when you see all the rest of what introvert actually means, when an introvert sets their boundaries and says no, then that's when it's like, oh, introverts. I don't get that. Sometimes the hate that gets thrown at introverts, you would think being an introvert within itself was committing some kind of absolute heinous crime. Some interactions I have had, because I'm subdued and I'm a little more on the quiet side, if somebody seen them from the outside looking in, they would think I slapped this person's mom. That's how upset and attacked they felt because I was quiet. Because I just wasn't a person that talked all the time or really spoke to them very much at all. They felt attacked, violated. And I don't understand it. I don't understand people that villainize introverts. Because what have they done to you? It's like you judge them and decide that all your judgments and all your assumptions are right and this is absolutely the person they are. So then you start treating them like that person. But then on the back end, it's usually a person that you don't even know. Not even a little bit whatsoever. It may be someone where you don't even know their name. Because that happens. People that don't even know you or maybe see you for like a short period of time. Oh, you're so quiet. You see me. First of all, you've had one interaction with me. But for some reason, like my quietness stuck with you and you just, that was something you felt the need that you just had to harp on or you had to poke at or you had to point out. For what? Why? Like, what was the need? Like, what was the reason? That's the one. What? Tell me the reason. What was the reason? I've also noticed that introverts seem to be like very big targets for bullying. A lot of the time, it spawns from people thinking that, oh, that they're more quiet, they're more subdued, this will be an easy target. I'm here to say, don't. I don't know why they think that, but as introverts, we already know. That little saying when it says, hey, you better watch them quiet ones. Leave the quiet ones alone. Do that. Do that. But it does still suck that people try it. Even if you can stand up for yourself, it still hurts when people try to bully you or fake who they are or try to manipulate you. It does hurt because sometimes it's like, what did I do to this person for them to even feel the need to do any of that? I'm so comfortable with myself. I don't bother anybody. I don't have any reason to be bothering nobody. I don't need other people to entertain me. And it's like you'll come over here, you'll come in my orbit, you'll come in my space just to pick with me or just to try to bully me because you don't like that I'm comfortable with myself and I don't need your validation. I don't need your approval for who I am. So when you make your little snide comments, when you say, oh, she's so quiet, she never talks to anyone, oh, she should talk more. I don't jump when you say how high. I don't perform for you. So you're going to try to bully me. It's just odd. It's odd how people try to attack introverts. One of my biggest pet peeves. The insults disguised as advice. They'll say something along the lines of, oh, you should open up more. You're never going to make it anywhere in life. Well, gee, thanks so much. I think I'll go change that right now. You're so nice about it. Why not? Like, me talking to you more is gonna, I already have a personality. I don't need to go to the store and buy one. I already have one. You just don't see my personality because instead of trying to get to know me, you decided that every assumption you've made just from looking at me is true. So you've already painted a picture of me in your head. So there's really, there's nothing to even talk about. And that's not advice in case you were wondering. And that's not helpful whatsoever. They'll say these things that are like, oh, okay. If you didn't like me or thought there was something wrong with me, you could have just said that. You didn't have to act like you were saying something helpful. You're not. You're just insulting me. That's absolutely it. Oh, you're just too quiet. You should come out of your shell. I'm not in a shell. This is how I am. Again, with your assumptions. Again, trying to push your judgments on me. This is not a shell. This is who I am. I am a quiet person and I don't need you to bring me out of anything because, again, I'm not in one. And honestly, there's a reason they do all of these. In school, at work, in society in general, introverts are hard to figure out because they're usually more quiet. They're usually a little more subdued. They usually stick to themselves. They're not telling you all their business. They're not just going around They're not the most social creatures. So they can be hard to figure out to other people. We all know people absolutely hate anything they cannot figure out. When they can't figure you out, they decide they're going to go and assume. Instead of getting to know you or just leaving you alone, they're going to take all their assumptions, pile those up, make those into who you are, and decide that, hey, it don't matter that I've never talked to this person. It doesn't matter that we've never had an actual social interaction. This is who they are. And that's it. Because they want to feel like they figured you out. Because they want to have some semblance of control. Introverts are comfortable with themselves. They don't mind sitting in silence. They don't mind not feeling that every bit of silence. But not everyone is like that. There are a lot of people who want to feel every bit of silence or who need to feel every bit of silence because they're not comfortable with themselves or they're demons that they have not faced. And when they have to sit in that silence, when they have to sit with themselves, they have to face those demons. They can't face those demons. They don't want to face those demons. So they will turn it into your fault. And then they will push their insecurities on you. And then they will project on you. Especially when you have the fake people, especially the people who really just faking their way through life, they have this mask on. They're pretending to be somebody else. A lot of the time, introverts can see through that. They're usually observers. They can see through that mask. You can see who I am. You can see past the facade. Oh, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. And as introverts, we love authenticity. We love a genuine person. So when we see through that mask, it's like we're gonna immediately backpedal. Like I need to get away from that. And they can tell that you've seen through that mask. When anybody that's faking it through life is going to have so much hatred for the people that have been able to see through that, especially if there's somebody who has a lot of people fooled, who a lot of people don't really realize this person is not at all who they have made us think they are. Oh, those people that see through that mask, they hate you. They have the deepest hatred for us because it doesn't work. We can see all the insecurities. We can see all the negativity. We can see all the ugliness. So they fear you. They are intimidated by you. They hate you. Those people know who they are. Also, I think a lot of it comes from introverts not needing that outside validation. Like an introvert does not need your approval. They don't need your validation. And really, they're not looking for it. People absolutely hate when you don't need that outside validation. When you are just completely okay being who you are unapologetically, regardless of who approves, even if nobody approves. All of this kind of adds up, and that's where that dislike and that hatred of introverts stems from. And the common denominator with all of it is their problem. None of this is a valid, oh, well, okay, I get why you don't like. No, it all stems from them, and then they want to make it a you problem, or they want to pounce on you or down you because, oh, it's your fault. No, an introvert is just not going to perform for you. They're not here to entertain you. So you have to do that yourself. You will have to be comfortable sitting with yourself. And if you're not, then here we go with the hatred. Here we go with the dislike. Here we go with the you need to change. You're too quiet. You need to be more social. You got to come out of your shell. Stop. People need to stop projecting their insecurities because that is where so much of that dislike of introverts come from. It's not because there's something wrong with introverts. It's not because introverts don't offer anything to the world, because they offer a lot. They offer a tremendous amount. They offer just as much as extroverts do. Okay, let's get into some ways we can heal from this. Not only heal from it, but learn from it so that we don't allow ourselves to get back to that same place we had to heal from in the first place. Introverts feel very deeply. And I believe it's because we think so much. We'll analyze a situation over and over. And it's like sometimes almost like there's a little movie theater in there. playing these events over and over, especially those ones that really leave their mark. Being treated this way throughout life and always feeling like you don't belong or always feeling misunderstood can it can leave a deep impact. And for a lot of us, I think it does lead to some insecurities. It can definitely leave its mark, and I think it is something that a lot of introverts have to work through and really unpack when they become an adult so that it doesn't just keep that cycle going. Because it, again, it does leave its mark, it does leave an impact. Now, to heal from that, first things first, change the narrative. Remind yourself that being quiet or more reserved doesn't make you less than, it just makes you different. Shift your mindset. Instead of I need to change, I need to learn who I am. Instead of I should be more social, I should find more ways to express myself that feel true to me. Let go of the labels. People have constantly called you rude. They constantly called you mean or stuck up. You're too shy. Whatever it is, let it go. You know who you are. And if you don't learn who you are, put in that work and never allow society's labels to determine who you are. Create safe spaces. Create relationships that make you feel at peace, that make you feel at home, relationships where you don't feel like you need to be someone else. Create routines that help you feel replenished. Make sure your routines are true to you. Don't create your routine around someone else or what someone else may want you to do or be. Create routines that help you, that feel good to you, that feel fulfilling to you and only you. Cater those routines to yourself. Create a life that feels safe to you. Not only safe, but a life that you actually feel like you want to live. Learn who you are, embrace who you are, and don't let anyone tell you there is something wrong with who you are. They may not like it. It may make them face things they don't want to face, or it may make them feel some type of way, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with who you are. Don't let other people change you and twist you into who they want you to be. And if you need to, reclaim that. Reclaim your identity. Reclaim who you are. Sort through all the traits or all the things that you've taken on that society has pushed onto you, and then separate it from what actually makes you you. Do what you need to do to really discover or rediscover exactly who you are, exactly what makes you who you are, and hold on to that. Don't let anyone rip that away. Set boundaries without. You should never feel bad for setting a boundary that is going to help you. Whether it's physically helping you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever it's going to do for you, hold on to that. Especially if it's hard for you to set boundaries. Don't think about, oh, what they may think or what this may be doing to them. Instead, do your best to think about what it's doing for you and why you are doing it, because you're doing it for a reason. You're not thinking about these boundaries. You're not, thinking you want to set these boundaries for nothing. Do it for you. Don't feel guilty about it. You should never think about it like this. Why would you feel guilty about doing something to better yourself? Okay. Exactly. Exactly. The world may misunderstand you, but the real healing starts when you stop misunderstanding yourself. You are exactly who you think you are. Act like it. I finally stopped letting society decide who I am or what I can do. I may be quiet, but now I'm also confident. And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, anybody can do or say to change how I look at myself, how I perceive myself. And baby, I love me some her real bad. Okay, friend, it's about time for me to go. If you made it this far, comment. Comment it's time. It's time for us to live as we are, because who cares what they think? Now, I'd love to know your thoughts. How did this episode sit with you? If you want to support, download the episode, comment, or leave a review to help our friends find the show. And of course, don't forget to follow and subscribe so we can chat again. Rooting for you always. Love you bunches.